Hi everybody, Laura here. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm playing with some Dreamweaver's embossing pastes. Up until now, I really only experimented with white and I have some clear, but I am playing with some new ones. To me, they're not new, but they're new to me, and these are so cool. I've got the Crackle. This is the Crackle. It's kind of a white, clear crackle. It crackles when it dries or cracks. Here's a matte black, glossy black, two totally different blacks. Now, this is probably my favorite one, the Pearlescent, so gorgeous. And then we've got the metallics, metallic silver, metallic copper, metallic gold. They're all just about as scrumptious as can be. I'll show you what they look like. Now, I cut some small, these like 3.5 by 5, just little panels of Nina Solar White, and I'm going to test them out with this diagonal stripe stencil. It's by Simon's Stamp. And so I'm adhering these down with that painter's tape. This is that Scotch blue painter's tape. This is really great. You get a big roll of it. Okay, so first up is the silver metallic. Now you can see what it looks like when it comes out of the jar. It's not like super duper metallic looking, but when it dries, it has this really nice metallic sheen to it. So I'm just smearing this on. You can be nice and generous because then you can scoop it, scoop it back off and put the excess back into your jar. And so you're really not wasting very much at all. And then now here's the big reveal. When you lift this up very carefully, you can see perfect silver metallic stripes. Now I'll wipe off my palette knife and I use it to just kind of like lift up that panel, and I'll put it over onto the counter and move on to the next panel. Now I'll wipe this up with my paper. I'll show you how I clean this up. First, I wipe with a paper towel. Then I go in with my handy dandy absorber. This is what I use to clean my stamps, but it also works great for all purpose cleaning. Now here is the metallic gold. It's very similar to the silver, except for it's gold. And here is the metallic copper. It's got a little more orangey tinge to it. Now here I wanted to show you this one. This is the matte black. Now look at this. This is like tar. It is thick. I wanted to show you what this looked like when I put it on because it has a different consistency than the rest of the paste. It's not as creamy. It's a drier paste. It almost has like a velvety finish to it, like chalkboard. It was the hardest of all the paste to clean up, but it's so unique. It's really cool. And this is what it looked like. Oh, it just turns out just gorgeous. I love it. Now here is the glossy black paste. I wanted to try this with the tiny dot stencil and do a black on black. I thought this would be so unique, very masculine, kind of like, I don't know, I just love it. Almost like a tire texture. And what's great when I lift this up, you'll see the little dots that came off of the cardstock, doesn't it? It almost reminds me like of a comic book look, like superhero. Okay, so here's all my swatches once they're dry. First up is this Crackle one. I'm not sure if you can see it real well, but it has this really cool crackle look when it dries. I also did it with the large circle dot stencil, and you can see the crackle a little bit better with some larger area other than the stripe. And here's some other ones I did. You've got all the metallics and the pearlescent, and it really, this is just a great way to see how they all look compared to one another. They're just fabulous. Now I want to compare the two blacks. You've got the black matte. This is just really awesome. You just can't help but like pet it with your fingers. So cool. And I'll show you what it looks like when you compare it with the glossy black. They're just so totally different. One's matte. You can see the gloss there, and then how the one is just really matte. Just fabulous. I love the two extremes using both, but black. Awesome. They look great on black, and they look great on white. And it'd be really cool to try these on colored cardstock as well. Now here's probably my most favorite one, the pearlescent. It's just so rich and like extravagant. It's just gorgeous. And then here's the black ones. Now I end up using that black on black one. I'll show you how I put together on a card. I didn't show the whole process of the card, otherwise this video would go on and on and on, and you might end up crying. But I wanted to show you how I did my sentiment. I used one of the Stitched Slopes and Hills dies. This is just that smooth, curvy die, and I die cut just a curve in the red cardstock. I believe this is lipstick red, I think. And then now I took it again, but I kind of angled it so that one end is skinnier, and then it kind of gets wider or fatter on the one end. Do you see how it kind of has this angled look? I just wanted to do something different with my sentiment. So I pulled out the Stitch Slopes and Hills dies, and I let my imagination run wild. And then I embossed my sentiment in white. There, this sentiment also comes in that same road trip stamp set. And you could see how awesome that glossy black paste looks on black cardstock. So fun. Great masculine card. Okay, so now here's the feminine side with the pearlescent. Now, a lot of people have asked me, how do you do your loosey-goosey thread? So what I do, you can see how I just let it fall off the spool and lay right onto the card, just in its natural circular form, how it falls off. I don't mess with it too much. I just take my tweezers and kind of spread it out. I really don't want to overwork it. And then I take the, what is this called? The clustered leaves die, and I die cut some vellum. Now, I did not adhere that thread at all. It's just laying there. So the glue from that's on the back of my clustered leaves vellum is what's holding that silver thread down. And then as well, I use the small hello word die cut, and I go die cut some gold foil cardstock, and that as well will adhere. So all of this stuff on top of the thread is really what's holding the thread down. So you can see it's very simple and easy, although it looks very, I don't know, romantic, and I don't know, it's pretty. I added some pretty pink posh sequins. They're my favorites. And I gotta say that that pearlescent embossing paste looks so delicious on the Simon Says Stamp ivory cardstock. It's a match made in heaven, people, I'm telling you. So here's one last picture of all the pastes together. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.